All right. Who in here has interviewed before? Okay. How'd you feel about it? Were you prepared? Okay. Any good and bad? Any first time successes? You got the job on the spot? You never heard from them before? After you left, you never got a call, an email, you were ghosted? Anybody? No?
You got on the job on the spot before.
On the spot? Well, that was recent, wasn't it?
It was like spring of last
Okay.
year.
Okay. So, what is a resume? And by the way, a resume and a cover letter are only 5% of your success in getting a job. Your interview is 95%. So yeah, they're important, but they're not as important as being ready to talk. So, what is a resume?
Like a list of things that you've done, like jobs that you've had.
It's a picture of what you've done. That's it, snapshot. How long is a resume supposed to be?
Page.
Only one page. Why?
They don't read.
Well, there's two reasons. One, they don't want to read it. I don't want to read it. Two, it's the way you're supposed to get a job. A one-page resume, that's it. 2 pages, 3 pages get tossed or deleted. They don't want to read it. And it scares people when you have 3 or 4 pages. People are like way overly qualified. They're not going to want to, they'll be bored here. So it's got to be 1 page. What color is the resume supposed to be? What colors can you use? I see a lot of different colors like pink and lime green and bolded yellow, bolded black. What colors go on the resume?
White and black.
That's it?
White and black.
White and black. Not even really supposed to bold much. It's white and simple. That's it. What about pictures? Glamour shots in the top right corner. Anybody? None. Why?
They don't care.
Well,
And it's unprofessional looking.
it's unprofessional and it's not the way resumes are supposed to be written. But I see the majority of students that say, look at my resume, has all that stuff. Pictures and colors. They toss it. They go, well, who taught them how to write a resume? What goes at the very top? Not a trick question. Your name, your full name, your middle name. Name. Then what?
Your phone number or email.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Phone. Your email. Then what?
Mine has my LinkedIn after that.
Very good. I got to put a star there. That was the last one. LinkedIn. A resume without a LinkedIn means it's worthless. They throw it away. They delete it if they don't see a LinkedIn. How many of you have LinkedIn? Okay? The rest of you better get going on that. You absolutely need it. If you want a job, a career, I don't think you need LinkedIn on your resume if you're going to work at Food Line or Hardee's. But career jobs, you have to have LinkedIn. Your resume's on LinkedIn, your testimonials, your references, your interests, everything's on there, okay? And then we missed one, is your physical address. Why? I don't know. Any questions on that? Out of all the resumes I've got this semester, nobody had all 5. Nobody. Then what? Most important thing that I think is missing with 100% of Wake Tech students, which means If we get the resume and it's not on there, it goes in the trash or deleted. What is supposed to go on the resume that's that important with the star under your address?
Excuse.
Nope, that's on there, but that's not next. Has to be next. Starts with an O.
Opening line.
Nope. Good guess. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Accounting? You're applying to an accounting firm? To work for a top-rated accounting firm where I can make a difference. It's an eye catcher. Objective statement. It needs to say objective statement and 1 or 2 lines under there of what you want to do. Sales manager, to work for a company as a sales leader, making quota for your company every month. Something. Any questions on that? Then what? Nobody has this, which means the resumes that we're using at Wake Tech at least are worthless to the business world. Why this wasn't taught in high school? I'm not sure. What goes under the objective statement? Somebody said it.
Excuse.
Nope. Goes on there, but not yet. What goes under objective statement? There's 2 things. It doesn't matter what order. What are 2 important? Betsy?
Is one education?
Yes. Education. Starting with your most recent. Okay? Do we put high school? No. Same with you with high school. They don't care about Roseville High School. Wake Tech, they do. So let's say we're at Campbell for our PhD. We would put Campbell, PhD, dates, and we would put GPA if it's over 3. If it's under 3, that's your choice. If it's over 3, I'm putting GPA. Dates, GPA, and what else do you think would go under Campbell? What else? Because remember the question that comes up. Tell me what else you did other than sit in the classroom at Wake Tech. That's an interview question. What else could we put under there that you were involved with?
Your extracurricular.
Clubs. Awards. Internships. Study abroad. Okay. Then we put NC State. If you went there for your bachelor's. Dates. GPA. Now we put Wake Tech. Same thing. Okay? Maybe we put most interesting class we took. Then what? What would go under education?
Experience.
Experience. Good. Maybe 1, 2, 3. Maybe you have 12 jobs. I leave those other ones off. I talk about it in the interview. You only got a certain amount of room. They got to read it. So I'm going to put 2 or 3 here, most relevant with the dates. I'm not going to skip. I'm not going to make up time either. I'm not going to extend dates to look better. If I was unemployed, I'm going to keep that gap of a year off. They'll find out. Experience. All right? Then what? She took it. Skills and interest. For me, I would put golf, travel, I don't know, Biking, skills, leadership, speak German. Okay, why wouldn't we put golf on our resume? Why wouldn't we put any interests on our resume? Any idea?
To talk about during the interview,
What if I'm interviewing with a golfer?
and y'all can chit chat about it.
He likes me, she likes me because I golf. They forget about all this stuff. They may hire me simply because I'm talking about golf. That's why I gotta put interest. If you have no interest, what might they presume about you?
You don't do anything?
Boring. And then we have something down here, which is mind-boggling, that I see on resumes from Wake Tech students. Anybody know what you're supposed to put at the bottom?
Reference?
Huh?
Reference?
What do you're right, but what type of what do you put there? The references?
Like,
Jeff Myers, 919-795, what, or in my email? Is that what we do? Is that what we do? No, why?
I don't know.
Because I don't want my references on your resume. I don't want you broadcasting my phone number by email. Yet, how many resumes do I get in that last semester activity with a lot of my classes? Half had people's names on the resume. What would that tell an employer? Not to hire you. So what goes at the bottom? You're right, references do. References available upon request. This has to be there, just like that. Which says, if you want references, I'll send them to you. I'll send you my sheet of 3 to 5 references. How many do you want? If they see someone's name and phone number, they go, what is this? Click, delete. That's a resume. If you're saying to yourself, it doesn't look like the one I sent in, well, you better look. Because that's how they're written. Now, there's templates, different ways, but the basic format is simple and basic and black and white in one page, and that's it. Any questions? Now, can you AI your resume? Yeah. But as we found out from a student last night, AI put a job that he wasn't even aware that he had. And in the interview, they asked him about this. Never heard of that. And he went, huh? Didn't get the job. We can't AI the resume. We gotta know the resume really well and be confident about it. Because as we see over here, we're gonna be asked a few questions. Any questions on resume? What's this? What's cover letter? Something that has to go with the resume. Or the resume is thrown away and deleted. What is a cover letter supposed to be? Betsy?
Just telling you why you should get an interview.
Very good. It's a love letter. Wow. Dear HR manager from SAS, I just saw an ad in Indeed.com and I feel I'm perfect for this job. I'd love to come in and talk. Attached is my resume for your review. I have 5 years experience, exactly what you're hiring for. That's it. It's a love letter. A half a page to a full page. This is better because I don't like to read a lot. Any questions? If you have sent resumes without a cover letter, the person you sent it to has opened it up and said, where's the cover letter? Delete. Not at Food Lion, not at Hardee's, not at Dollar Tree, I'm sure. Those jobs are available for anyone who walks in and breathes. Okay? We're not talking about that. 5% of your success in getting that career job is this and this. That's it. Google, YouTube, top resumes for accounting. And pick one you like. See what they say. Top templates for a sales position cover letter. Look at it, don't copy and paste it. Make it you, they can tell. Okay. Elijah, you have a phenomenal resume and cover letter. I'm interested. I set an appointment for you to come into my company, SAS, #1 in the world, in Cary, 9 o'clock Monday morning. You got a call back, 9 a.m. When, Elijah, do you show?
Like 8:57, like walk in 8:57,
Good.
8:58.
So you remember that. Anybody else? When do you show, Haley?
I usually come in pretty early,
Like how long? How much before 9?
like 7:23.
No, for the interview at 9, you come in at what time?
No, at 8:23.
8:23. For a 9 o'clock.
Yeah, so I can practice
But you come into the company and practice? Where do you practice?
in a quiet room.
Well, what if they don't have a quiet room? What if it's just a lobby, you're waiting for your interview in the lobby? You don't want to come that early, Haley. Do you know how long 40 minutes is waiting for an interview? Do you know there's cameras that are watching you? Do you know people who tell the boss that they hire you are watching you? Haley, how long do you, yeah, Haley. Oh, Holly. Haley, Holly.
Halle.
Holly.
Like Halle Berry.
I know her. You got me distracted here. When would you come?
A few minutes.
Okay.
5 minutes.
5? Okay, that'd be all right. 5?
5.
10. Let's talk about 10. That's more realistic, but that's a little early. You know why? Let's test out what a minute feels like. And then let's multiply it times 10. We'll multiply yours times 40. I'm already tired of sitting. Holy cow. I think we got 10 seconds. Times 10. Now, it's Lonnie, right?
Yes.
Lonnie, when we're nervous and we're sitting for 10 minutes or 40, what do we do? this,
Yes.
right? We do this. Receptionist sitting right there. There you go. How long you worked here for? How long?
A couple of years.
You like it?
Love it.
Cool. Why do we want to sit there for 10 minutes? One is too close to cut me. Way too close, one. I don't say one. 2 or 3, much better than 10, let alone 40. I had a guy come in one time for an interview, 90 minutes early. He told my receptionist he was just in the area. Could he hang out? He'd be quiet. Did I hire him? Plus, she came into my office and said, "You got to interview." I says, "What are you talking about?" She says, "He's here early." I felt pressured to go out and interview him early. 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. Any questions on that? Okay, good. We talked about this. Elijah. Great resume. Great cover letter. You came in 3 minutes early. And the new boss you're going to walk for comes out. How you doing? Jeff Myers. Nice to meet you. What if you did it to me? I'd say that's weird too.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't hire you. It all can explode at the handshake. Your resume, your cover letter, and the time you came in, all for no good. All those people that interviewed with me at Wake Tech, a handshake like this. Adults, one guy did this. Resume went in this pile, the no pile. A lot of this. Nice to meet you. Where am I? It all stops at the handshake. Because most of us cannot handshake properly. We get nervous, we got sweaty hands, we're anxious, we pull back. That's the majority. Hi, I'm looking for a nice. How many positions do you have open? Where are their resumes? No, we can't do that. We can't show them. Not with the state. Where do you think they are though?
In the note file?
They're in the file. They're in the file that after a year we kind of move them to a storage unit. We had some people with cover letters too. It's a shame. How you doing, Smash? We can't have them teaching students how to give a handshake. It's hard enough to get a job. Elijah, what do we wear to SAS?
I would wear either a suit or something of that nature. Maybe not a blazer.
For sure not. Would this work?
I don't see why not.
Kush, would this work?
Yeah. Without the blazer.
Huh?
Without the blazer.
Without the blazer.
We have.
I walk in just with this shirt like this without my blazer for an interview?
Shirt tucked in.
Shirt tucked in. suit. Say this. Career jobs, you're coming in with a blazer or a polo shirt with my shirt tucked in? You're discounted. It's like, it's the same thing as that limp handshake. You're done. You only have a choice of a suit, guys. And there's 3 colors only. What are they?
White,
White?
Black.
Oh. No, white was a hot looking suit back in the 80s. Don Johnson, I mean, that was not for interviews, but you went out to the club in the white suit, whoa, watch out, at least for me. Okay? Only 3 colors, black,
Navy.
navy blue, good, not UNC Chapel Hill blue. And what else?
Gray.
Gray. Not brown. Not green. Those 3. Only. Why? It's part of the interview culture. People are like, well, you didn't know how to interview. Great resume. My God, look at where he went to school. Hardship. Guys gotta have their shoes shine too. They can't go in with this either, the beard. Nope. Gotta shave that day, completely. Gotta hide the tattoos if we have them. Why? Because it's the interview culture for career jobs, not a food line.
So I can have my beard in a.
It's tough, man. Yours looks more permanent, but there's a lot of judgment going on out there, man. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. It's like that suit deal. When I do wear a suit at Wake Tech, people move from me. They can see me coming. They're like, oh, hi, how are you? And they open the door, or they get out of my way. If I wear a shirt just tucked in, I gotta like step over people who are sitting on the floor on their computer and bump into people. The suit gives you respect. If you're in sales and you have a suit, people go, oh, can I help you, sir? They know you're a salesperson. But without a suit, a briefcase, did you see the sign? Get out. Well, I don't want to overdress for the interview. Well, let me tell you, you're remembered as the guy in the suit. Remember that guy in the suit? Man, it's always good. You should overdress. We underdress because we're afraid to overdress. Ladies, you have more choices for colors. Just do not wear bright yellow. I've seen it all. Bright pink blazer. Wear something, I don't know, brown or white, I guess. You have more colors. You had a question.
No, I just was like, I know a good outfit to wear.
Good. Haley, you had a question?
Yeah, I was thinking of like maybe dark blue.
Sure. Now, and I've seen it all. Ladies, please be careful of the perfume. Guys, the cologne. If they're talking about that smell a half hour after you've left, you ain't getting the job. Okay? Be careful. Psst is okay. Not. Ladies, the lipstick needs to stay on your lips, not in your teeth. I've seen it all. It's like looking at someone with spinach on their tooth. We're in a hurry to get there, we're running late, and we do the lipstick and we. What happens? If you got lipstick down here, I've seen it all. You gotta think about that. I've seen a lady with two different shoes. One was a little higher than the other. Yeah, I know. I laughed. Not at her, But as she was walking in front of me to my office, I was dying. But I already said in my mind, what?
Oh, shoot.
What did I say as I was looking at her walking lopsided?
So
Because
that's
she,
stupid.
and, no, but what did I ultimately say? Hey, done. I'm just telling you what the real world does. Not just what Jeff Myers does. It's what you'll do too. Elijah, great resume, great cover letter. Showed up early, phenomenal handshake. You're wearing that great looking gray suit, man. That looks good. And you shaved. Now you made it to my office. You have to have at least 8 questions. Before I start asking you questions, why?
Shows your interest in research.
Confidence. It shows you're interviewing me, that you're probably interviewing at other places, which makes you what? More valuable. But what's the real reason you should be asking me a question as you're sitting down, so that I'm not going to start asking you my questions right away? Because mine are tough. Just like career job questions, they're tough. You want to wear me down a little bit. So what question would you ask at SAS of me before I start interviewing you?
How this position comes
Good.
available.
That's the way I start. Excuse me. Can I ask a quick question? Why is the position open? Now, I have said, did someone get let go? Someone get promoted? Are you guys growing? I was just curious on why we're interviewing. Why is it open? Well, that's a great question, Mr. Myers. What's another question we want to ask? We gotta have 8. I'll stop you at 3 or 4 if I need to, if I'm ready to ask you questions. But I'm liking the fact that you're interviewing me, because your peers aren't. What's another question?
Would you ask about what the position itself holds for you? Just the job details?
Can you tell me what I would be doing in my first week? How's that look? Paint a picture for me. Good. What else would we ask?
Salary.
Oh, no.
How's the work environment?
Hold on, let's get back to salary, because that comes up a lot. It came up in every class. Who said that? Why?
Just so what I'm working with.
You deserve to know, huh?
Yeah.
You deserve to know. So you're interviewing me, and you say, Jeff, do you have any questions? Or I'm just sitting down. You need somebody really good, and I'm just sitting down, and I say, excuse me, what does this pay? What are you thinking? You okay with that? Maybe you are. How about this one? Oh, I do have a question. When does vacation time start? I have another question. Do we get Labor Day off next Monday? I was just curious. Interview 1 is about what you provide the company, nothing about what you get. Why? It's the culture of interview. You can bring that up on interview 2 or 3. Never anything on what's in it for you. Just telling you, a very common mistake that people run into. I was just curious, I'm planning out my summer, and I was wondering, do I get 1 or 2 weeks, and when does that start? They're done. What's another question? Somebody said.
How's the work environment?
Yeah, tell me, are you guys like an email culture? Are you a phone culture? Are you in-person culture? Are people happy here, and why? How long have people stayed here so far? What's your longest tenured employee? Well, 10 years, I think Dave's in there, wow, that's great. Would it be possible if I talked to him? Yeah, well, yeah, we can probably get you that number deal. What are you reading in me? What did I do?
Defensive,
Which means what?
you overdid it.
I don't wanna give you Dave's number, because Dave's gonna tell you don't work here. I just lied. Remember? You want Dave's phone number?
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
Do you wanna work for companies lying already? One more question you'd ask. Gotta have 8? Anybody?
What does a typical day look like?
Yeah, paint me a picture of what I would be doing my first day. What do you look for in a hire? What have your most successful employees look like before you hire them that made you choose them? Something. Typically, Wake Tech students have 0 questions. They just sit there and go, Elijah, great resume, great cover letter, came in early, great handshake, you look great, you had 8 questions, now it's my turn. We gotta be prepared. Because you know the one I start out with, don't you? Ariel, is that it?
Yeah.
Ariel, I appreciate some good questions you had. You probably noticed we have a lot of people interviewing. It's packed. We're getting a lot of great candidates. Why should I hire you over everybody else in Southern Social Security?
For my value to the company,
How so?
my experience and like everything that I know, I would be a good fit.
Well, that was good. That was something. That was, you didn't hesitate. You started talking. That was good. I hope everybody can answer it as quickly as he did, because if you hesitate, I'm assuming you're making stuff up. You're not prepared. That's a tough question. Why you? We gotta have reasons why you. We gotta be ready to talk too. That's what they're asking over in RTP for career jobs. Another question I might ask you. Sophia, right? Sophia, why haven't you been working for the last year? You got a huge gap. I'm curious.
Because I've been like working on my own business, giving a test for myself, and trying to make some money in my own business, and then going back to
I like it.
work.
Not bad. Lonnie, you've been over at ABC Company, I see, for about 6 years. I know your boss, Tom. What would he say if I called him this afternoon about you?
Just said to have an above average source of effort.
Okay.
I would think so.
Yeah.
He would always compliment me.
Do you mind if I give him a call?
Yeah.
Hallie. David, Hallie, Hallie. Miss Wall, how's that? Miss Wall, can you tell me something that you would bring to the table that I can look forward to?
A lot of positivity.
Positively? I like that. We need that around here. That was good. You thought about that before, didn't you?
Yeah.
Betsy? Can you give me a weakness that I need to prepare myself for?
A weakness is I have a hard time being organized, but I'm working on it by making a schedule, planner, so I can write stuff down. So I remember when I write stuff down, I remember them to do more.
Good. Be prepared to hear what was your favorite class and why. Be prepared to answer the question, what else did you do other than take classes at NC State?
Are you asking me?
I'm just saying, be prepared. Start thinking about that. Tell me what you did other than sit in the classroom. Be prepared. Sophia? Right?
Yeah, so,
Sophie?
yeah.
Be prepared for the question of, if you were a tree, what type of tree would you be?
I'd be a lemon tree.
A
So I
lemon
can
tree.
make lemonade.
You had an answer. There is no right and wrong answer, but I'm thinking, so you can make, you like lemonade.
Yeah.
Why would I ask that question again? Why would I ask the question, if you were a cartoon character, what would you be and why? Why would I do that? They ask those all the time. Is there a right answer? I don't think so. Is there a wrong answer? I don't think so. Why are they asking that?
To see the character of a person you want,
To see what?
the character.
I don't think so. They ask that to see how well you think on your feet without panicking. Critical thinking. How comfortable you are with a kind of a tough question. It's like what I ask when I do salespeople interviews. I ask a salesperson, sell me that marker. It's tough. I see a lot of this with the tree questions. I've never been asked that. I had a guy in the other class from San Diego. He kind of a beach guy, Kyle, surfboarder, dude. And he raised his hand right away. He goes, "Palm tree, man." I like hanging out on the beach and looking at the hot girls. I loved it. That was I'd hire him. That was creative. It was smooth. It's quick. If we don't write down those questions, there's only 5 or 6 of them. And practice with your friend or family or in front of a mirror, you ain't going to be prepared. Now, it's okay to fail, right? It's okay. I did. I horrible out of college. I didn't go through this class. I kept going. I hated it. I cried. I was scared. I shook. But I had to. It's okay to fail. The sooner you fail, the better you get, the quicker you get a job. And then, I would say by far, the most important and the least amount is happening with Wake Tech students. Last time, Elijah. Great resume and cover letter. Showed up early. Great handshake. Look great, not suit. Wish you would have shaved. But I overlooked it, okay? You asked me some really good questions right away, kept me quiet. And I can tell you were prepared with that why you question. We've talked now for almost an hour. And then I say this. Man, really refreshing to see somebody prepared like this for an interview. It was really good meeting you, Elijah. Really good meeting you.
Am I supposed to ask if I have the job?
What would you ask?
Probably ask what I should be expecting in the following
Yeah,
days.
but you
I-
didn't.
I know I was supposed to know.
I know, but you didn't. So all of this gets flushed down the toilet. All this preparation. I might have even said, do you have any questions for me before I let you go? Well, do you?
Oh, yeah.
What?
What should I be expecting in the coming days? Or?
Well, Elijah, we're not ready to make a decision yet. We got a couple other candidates. We should be done by this week, and then we're all gonna get together as owners and elect who we're gonna bring back for that final set of interviews. But I appreciate you asking.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
That's all I got.
Down the toilet. Anybody wanna help Elijah? Save his chance of that phenomenal job he did up until that point? Nobody?
Where do I rank? Out of all
Thank
the
you.
others?
Elijah, I'm you now. Yeah, I do have another question. You indicated that you were speaking to a lot of people. So I wanted to ask you, where do I rank so far out of everybody you've spoken to?
Top 10 for sure.
Wow, that's great. What put me in that category?
Just your ability to answer questions.
Okay.
And to ask the questions.
Phenomenal. Anything that you have any concern with based on our discussions? Anything that you still have concern with me on?
Just make sure that you keep being persistent and follow up with.
And speaking of that, when is a final decision?
Hopefully in the coming days.
Okay.
Hopefully you can hear from us by next month.
Do you usually send emails or do you call?
We'll probably call.
Okay.
Final.
Well, I'm really, really excited. I am more excited about this than I thought when I first came in. I really would love a chance to show you what I can do. Appreciate your time. Now, Elijah, it's Friday, you didn't hear. Nothing. Sent an email Friday night. Nothing. Monday. You called. Got my voicemail. Nothing. What do you do?
I'd probably continue to follow up.
Would you?
Or go in person.
Would you?
Yeah.
Good. Because you deserve an answer, don't you? You bought that new suit. You drove and took your time to interview. And I can't even follow up on my word. I'm taking the ghosting route, which seems to be popular today. I think I'll just not reply. Oh, I don't let that happen. So I'll drive over if it's local, and I'll keep calling until I get a yes or a no. Because I deserve a no. And why? Not to chew you out, but to use that why for my next interview. You deserve that, or I deserve that from you. Those of you that accept being ghosted are going to have a really tough life. And there's a lot of us in here. that don't track down for answers. If you show them in a nice way that you're persistent, Elijah, they may say to themselves, I'm scared to tell him no now. He's going to come at me. He's got it. I call it soft stalking. It's kind of a joke, but that's what it is. I want to make them more afraid to tell me no than anybody else. Any questions on this? Is there anything more important than a credit score than this stuff right now in your lives? Can you think of anything more that needs to be taught? I can. The students coming out of Wake Tech and NC State for career interviews are really having a hard time because they don't know any of this. You at least now know it. Whether or not you listened is another story. And whether or not those of you that listened take it to the extreme and start preparing now is really another story, because most of you won't. You're going to wait. And waiting on this stuff is catastrophic for the long term. Because if you freeze and let that stop you because you were hit so hard, and you will if you don't prepare, there's a good chance that you will completely stop. Any questions? So we have one more class coming up Thursday.